People like to laugh at me, but it don't really matter. 'Cause my name is Roland Stones and I can drive a tractor. Ooh-ar, 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 ooh-ar.
Building up the temple, building up the temple, building up the temple of the Lord. Boys, won't you help us? Girls, won't you help us? Building up the temple of the Lord. Now, I better put that over the... Oh, well, hello, you lot. Oh, it's great to see you. I'm so pleased you're here. It's just, I've been quite busy, actually. I've just come back here to the shed there. I've been down on the lower field, on the lower acres, because I had a bit of a wall I had to rebuild a little bit. So I'm just bringing my tools back and I was just cleaning them up. You know, I got some bits and bobs here. I used my brush there to brush the old stuff, and I got these are my lines, you see, to make sure everything's straight and everything like that. And I've had some sand and cement down there, and I've had to just a bit of repairing on a wall, you see. In fact, you know what, kids, that reminds me of a story what I was reading in my Bible just yesterday, actually. It's about this bloke. His name was I'm sure he had a wonky leg. What was it? Oh, Nehemiah. I think he had one knee a bit higher than the other one. Anyway, I tell you what, shall we have a sit down? If we have a sit down, I'll tell you a little bit about that story of this bloke. His name, what's his name is Nehemiah. Come over here. Come over here. Come on. So, this bloke, his name's Nehemiah, and he's in the Bible here. It's a great story, see. What happened was, he worked for the king, somewhere out a long way away from where the Israel people lived. He wasn't anywhere near there, but he heard a story, and he heard that the walls of Jerusalem, which was his home city, like, they were falling down, and he was so upset. I mean, I reckon, I don't know if you can do a sad face. I'm going to try. Like, it was like that. It was that sad he were. He were really sad because the wall was falling down, and he knew it was a special place. So he asked his king, who really could have got in trouble, but he asked his king, can I go back and rebuild the wall? Do you know what the king said? He said, yeah, you can, and I'll even send some stuff to help. Well, that was great, but Nehemiah, he had loads of enemies there. The Israel people, they've often had a lot of enemies, and they didn't want him to build this wall. Well, of course, he couldn't do it on his own, could he? This one bloke, he needed a lot of helpers. And do you know what? He prayed, and he said, God, I really need to build this wall for you, and I need some help. Well, he had lots of people came and helped. Some people helped build the gates, and some people built this bit, and some people built that bit. And they had to be careful because their enemies was around all the time. But do you know what? He kept praying to God, and he believed that he could get the wall built, just like I did down at the lower acre there. But he had a massive one to do, and it took him a long, long time. Do you know what? With the right help, he did it. And he was a good leader, and he encouraged all the people what was helping him. And he believed God would keep all the enemies at bay. So they did rebuild the wall. The walls of Jerusalem, they was called. Well, I think that's fantastic. And do you know what? If we give our lives to Jesus, he can rebuild our hearts. He can rebuild our lives, like sometimes like a broken wall when we get upset about lots of things. So remember that story, and also remember that Nehemiah, he was a good leader, but he did need lots of help, see? That's what he needed, was a lot of help. He prayed to God and he got that help, and he really helped to all the people what was with him as well. He showed them how to do things and to get it right. Anyway, I've got to get on with cleaning my tools up here, so it's great to see you again, kids. I do hope I see you again soon. All right there, I think I'll go back singing my old songs. What do you reckon? Hee-hee! Building up the temple, building up the temple, building up the temple of the Lord. Boys, won't you help us? Girls, won't you help us? Building up the temple of the Lord.